Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Nancy from nancybadija.com and welcome to another episode of Etsy Shop Critique. If this is your first time in my YouTube channel, um, I am a Etsy influencer, and as a result of my Etsy YouTube channel, I'm able to help Etsy sellers increase their sales by teaching the fundamentals of what it takes to make it on Etsy. So my videos will help you have a thriving business on Etsy by increasing your sales, dominating the site, and blowing the competition out of the water. So if you are ready to take your Etsy shop to the next level, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and make sure that you give me some love by liking this video and leaving a comment. So let's go ahead and get started. Anything that I recommend on this video for resources or tools, I will link the link below on the text box description. So below this video, you will find all the links and resources that I use or recommend. So the store that I'm doing a critique on is called the Goat Fetching Soap. And it's a really, really great store. I really appreciate Charlene for allowing me to do a critique of your shop. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I normally talk about is product photography. This store actually has done an amazing job with their photos. It's very cohesive. It's very clear, it's very pretty. So in that sense, they've done a really, really good job. It's very stimulating, it's visually appealing, it's very beautiful. Um, the listing that I picked to do an Etsy critique on is this one here, the honey charcoal cleansing. Now, my first critique is that the photo, whenever you have a photo, it needs to be cropped in a complimentary way. So this photo, for instance, is if you see right here is cut off, and then it's cut off right here as well. So what I would do is I would make sure that your photo represents the full item without being cut off. That's the first thing. Second, the reason why I picked this particular item is because at first glance, you don't really know what it is. The picture is beautiful. There's nothing wrong with the photo. Now, what's wrong with the photo is that I'm not able to tell exactly what I'm buying. So, therefore, if this is someone for the first time looking at your item and they never bought a cleansy facial bar that's black or charcoal black and they never seen this before, they might not necessarily click on your photo if they just stumble across your listing because they don't really know what they're buying. So that's one thing about product photography. You could have a really nice picture. However, if the picture is not clear of what the person is buying, it can also lead to confusion. And therefore the person will not buy from you. So you're gonna have two potential buyers. You're gonna have the buyer that is looking for your particular item. They see the photo, they see the actual product, they're like, oh my god, I need to have this. And you're gonna have the potential buyer that accidentally stumble on your listing, right? They weren't looking for this bar soap, but they see it, they want it, they need it, and they buy it. So you're gonna have both the one that's looking for your item and the one that wasn't particularly looking for the item. However, your photo should please both buyers, the one looking and the one that wasn't looking. So my my biggest suggestion would be that your first photo would be a photo showcasing what the product actually is. Um, so therefore, if you want to use this picture as your second or third or fourth, almost like you did with the other pictures, showcasing the soap, that's fine. But your first photo should be showcasing exactly what they're buying, but it should be clear expectation. They should be able to look at it and know exactly what they're buying. If there's any confusion, it will create confusion. If there's any, like, I don't know what I'm looking at, it will create confusion and they will not buy. It doesn't matter how amazing your product is or how nice the picture is. If the person is confused, they won't buy. And the downside about a lot of people, especially us nowadays, right, is that when we look at something, we usually look at the photo first. We won't read the title, we won't read the listing description. So visually, it's stimulating. However, if I don't know what I'm looking at, then most likely I won't click to learn more about it. So that would be my suggestion. I will also add maybe additional photos at the end, to say, click below to view listing description, or click below to learn more about this facial bar. Maybe putting a disclaimer like that, especially if they looked at the first photo and they're not really sure, maybe that might get your sale. However, the first photo should be the one that's the photographer, that is very clear and understanding of what the person is buying. Other than that, you've done an exceptional job of adding additional photos. Some of them could be cropped in a more complimentary way. Um, but for the most part, they're very pretty, they're very clear, and they're beautiful photos. So, and they're very cohesive, which is the most important part. So for that, I will give you an A. You've done an excellent, excellent job. Now, the second part of this critique would be the keywords or the tags, right? So I personally use XErank to do any keyword search and anything else I need to do, like if I want to look at my competitors, or if I want to see what's trending, etc. And XErank is a free tool that you could use as an Etsy seller. You could upload your store. You will need a Etsy shop in order to make an account, and then you'll be able to see your metrics as well as research keywords and do so many additional things with XErank. Now, with the keywords, it used to be when you look up a listing, you will be able to see different metrics. Like green will be for low competition, yellow will be medium competition, and red will mean that it's high competition, meaning that it's oversaturated. Now, because XERN has done some changes, some upgrading in their system, is not color coordinated. Now it's basically letting you know the competition, and it's going to give you a number. And this number means that that's how many people are using that particular listing. So how many? So the word all natural soap, 21,650 other people are using that same keyword. So therefore, that keyword will be oversaturated keyword for you. My suggestion with keywords is that you want to find keywords that are low in competition. So anything below 3,000. If you do medium competition, those usually are between 3,000 to about 6,000 listings. Now, anything after 6,000, I will say, is a very hard to rank organically. Um, so therefore, one is hard to rank organically, and two, if you were to pay Etsy ads, your cost per click is going to be a little bit higher because there's so many other people competing for that keyword to be placed on the first page of Etsy search results. Keep in mind also that if you were to change your cost per bid, so when you do an Etsy ad, you could change your cost per bid for lower. That means that you could change it to 10 cents per click. If you were to do that, that doesn't put your ad on the first page of Etsy. It's going to stuff your ad maybe on the second or third or fourth or even seventh. So therefore also making it very hard for you to be found even when you are spending money. So that's the trick about it. If you do a keyword that is low competition, it will be really, really easy not only to be found organically, but will also be very easy to be found when you do a ad, because most likely you will be in the first page of Etsy search results, and that's where you want to be. So that's another reason why you want to stick with a low competition keyword. Another thing is you want to make sure that your keywords are very specific to what you're selling. You don't want to use keywords that are very broad. So oily skin, in my opinion, is very broad, because if you were to go to Etsy.com and you were to search for oily skin, I'll show you now. It's going to show you all types of things. It's not going to show you just soap. It's going to show you different things. And I'll show you now. So when you type in the word oily skin, it's showing you all types of stuff. So it's showing you face wash, cold cream, acne treatment, sage, organic sage, makeup primer. You see how it's giving you so many things? That's because now you're targeting anybody and everybody. So that's another thing that you got to be a little bit careful with. If you use keywords that are very broad, um that's why a lot of people say, well, I have a lot of listing views, and a lot of people like my shop, or a lot of people see my items, but I'm not making sales. I just don't understand. That's the reason why, because you're targeting to everybody and anybody. So therefore, a lot of people are viewing your listing, but the wrong people are viewing it. People that are not interested in your product are the ones that are seeing your product. So therefore, you're wasting money, and you're just showing your product. Let's say if you're doing a Facebook ad, or I'm sorry, an Etsy ad, you're showing your product to anybody and everybody that are not interested. So therefore, you're wasting money, and on top of that, you're also targeting the wrong people. So therefore, yeah, your impressions will be higher, your views will be higher, but your sales will not be higher. You will not be increasing your sales. And sometimes it's better to have less impressions and less views, but get more sales than the opposite. So you have to keep that in mind. I would definitely work a little bit more on your keywords, especially this one. You have handmade soap, that's over 50,000. So anything, I personally would say, that has over 6,000 um listings, I would change those. This one here, 11,000. Definitely this one here, handmade soap, 50,000. This one, and this one, and this one, and this one. You might want to leave this one only because it does describe your product, but just keep in mind that ranking organically, it will be a little bit hard. I would try to keep keywords under 6,000 listings, and that's just my number. That's the number that I do for my listings. Only because I found that if I keep it under 6,000, I get more traffic, and then I'm able also to target the right people. That's up to you. If you want to use these types, you can, and then you could run a lot of Etsy ads and just pay the regular price per click, and that's fine. But just keep in mind, because a lot of people are competing with you for that same particular keyword, your cost per click will be a lot higher. If you are trying to rank organically without spending no ads, and you just want to use those keywords without spending no money, keep in mind that your reach is going to be very, very low. So that's the only downside. Once you've done the research, you could use XC for the tools. Make sure that when you are researching for your particular item, that you are researching it by the item. So this is a charcoal cleaning facial bar. That's the first thing I will write. Or Acme face soap. That's the first thing I will write. Make sure that you don't put Acme soap separate, or don't put like Acme as a word and then soap as a second, or don't put face soap. Keep it together. That's exactly what you're describing. Then you take those keywords, you will go to Etsy rank, and you will type them up here to kind of start researching for new keywords. It is going to be a little tedious, a little bit, because you are in a competitive niche. So therefore, it's going to seem sometimes hard to find keywords that are under 6,000 listings, but they're out there. You just have to like do the research and kind of go through it, and it's just a little bit of work doing it. However, using the right tags and using keywords that are not oversaturated are going to drive you more traffic, and therefore that's what you need. So, for instance, right here's a good one: charcoal facial soap. So that's a good one to put. Facial care soap. That's another good one. I wouldn't use this one because it says clay mask and you don't have clay mask. Um, this one's another good one: charcoal face soap. It has low in competition, cleaning face wash. Maybe that one, but you also don't be putting keywords just because you're finding keywords. So you say, oh, well, this is a low keyword, let me put that one. Make sure that every keyword that you use does describe your product, is something that somebody might be looking for to their solution. So if I had Acme and I'm looking for a soap, Acme cleansing would be a good one. And if your soap popped up, then you are targeting the right person. So that's what you got to do. You just kind of have to play with it. Go in here, start finding those new keywords and replacing them with the keywords that are too broad, like the ones that we talked about. If you look at let's say this one, handmade soap, right? So if you look at that keyword, handmade soap, how it had 50,000 listings, you're going to see that it's going to be in red because it's oversaturated. So many people using that same keyword. So therefore, for you to rank organically, it's almost going to be impossible. As you see how it comes out red. So you don't want to use that keyword basically. You will want to remove it. Once you have the new keywords, right? You will go back to your listing and you will do exactly the same thing, but just replace them with the new keywords. You want to make sure that your primary keyword that describes the item the best is in the beginning of the sentence. Now, Etsy did do a few tweaks in their end, and they want the titles to be smaller and maybe just put one keyword and that's all. That's in my opinion, that's discretion. That's up to you. All my listings still have it like this, where I stuff as many keywords. Does it look nicer with just having one keyword and like a short description? Yes, it does. But for me, it works better putting all my keywords because therefore I get more visibility and more traffic. So therefore, for me, it works better that way. But for Etsy best practices in their new way is by just using one keyword and having a short description. Also, keep in mind that for SEO best practices, your main keyword needs to be in the first 160 characters of your listing description. So your keyword has to be integrated up here, and you have to write a very good, enticing meta description. And the meta description is what somebody reads when they find your listing on Google. So this is a meta description. So let's say somebody typed in honey charcoal cleansing and your actual listing popped up on Google. This is what they see. So let's say this is your main keyword right here, right? So that keyword should be also here. See what I'm saying? And then you should also have an enticing caption. This is called meta description. You should have a enticing description so the person could feel, oh wow, I want that product. Let me click and view more. Let me click to learn more. So you want to make sure that it's very enticing, that it's going to make somebody want to click there to learn more about your specific product. You also want to make sure, like you did an excellent job with this, to have all 13 keywords down here. I did check your tags, you did them correctly. That's another way that people search. I know you asked me about attributes. So attributes are additional tags that people might find your products on. So adding attributes is important because some people search by keywords, like by typing in facial soap bar, but then other people search by attributes. So they might search by holiday, occasion, etc. And that's just another way to be found on the Etsy search results. So the more ways you have to be found, the more potentials you could get. Eventually, the more sales you can make. So you want to make sure that you target all those options. That way, you could increase the likelihood of getting more traffic, more sales, etc., or more potential people to your shop. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is listing description. And your listing description is also important because it's what's going to make the person buy from you. So always keep in mind that the photo, so SEO is how they found your listing. The photo is what made them click on the listing, and the listing description is what made them buy from you. Because the listing description should be very detailed, it should be very clear, it should be easy to read, it should be separated into sections, and it should have anything and everything the customer should know about your product. So the size, the color, what it's made of, if it's natural, if it's organic, the shipping policy, the return policy, the shipping cost, anything that you think the customer might question you about, make sure that you include it in the listing description. I think you did a really good job with it. You did a really good job of explaining what the soap is about and how it helps with your skin and all the stuff. I think that you did go a little bit maybe a little bit too detailed on the product. Maybe you could include this when they buy the product. You could kind of include it in there as a little informational card on the actual product. I think that if you shorten this down a little bit, it will look a little bit better. And I will also separate it into sections. I wanted to kind of show you my store. And this is just a new store that I'm working on right now. But as you can see, when you go to the listing description, I have little sections that's separated. So I use these emojis to kind of separate each section. I think if you added something like this, it would just take your listing description to another level. And I think it will help it visually. It's easier for me to know, okay, description, what it is, or what I will receive, or how to order, or returns and refunds. So it's important that you kind of have it very simple and simplistic. The more simple, the better. Um, People are not going to sit here and read all of this. Some people might, but majority of people don't. So you want to make sure that you get straight to the point, describe the item, what they're buying, why they should, like what is included, shipping policy, return policy, etc. However, I think, in my opinion, you've done an excellent job. You've done more than the average store. You have taken the time to proofread. You have taken the time to create a beautiful listing description. My only thing about the listing description, make it a little bit smaller, and then also keep in mind that whatever keywords you use, it should be sprinkled into the listing description. So your main keyword should be here. You should add another keyword here, add another keyword here, add another keyword here. Make sure it sounds natural, but make sure you use all the keywords in your listing description. If you do that, the stronger your SEO is, or the better your SEO is, and the more you will rank on the Etsy search results. Now, that's not the only reason why you will rank on the search results. There's like over 200 different factors. How long your listing's been open, how long you had it published on Etsy, how many people like it, how many people view, how many people engage with your page. It's so many different factors. They constantly change, but that's one of the SEO best practices, is including your keywords in your listing description, almost like the attributes to drive more traffic to your shop. So that would be my other suggestion. Um, the last thing that I normally talk about on an Etsy review is the overall, like the cohesiveness. Does your brand look together? Does it look cohesive? Do you have different colors, or do they all go together? I personally have to say, if not, I think this is my by far, out of all the critiques, one of the top ones, in the sense of how it looks. I think that you've done an excellent job. I think that with your banner, it looks very pretty. It looks very put together. It looks very professional. You have all the same colors in the background. Um, if I saw this listing and I saw that one and I saw that one separately on the search results, I would probably think, oh, that's from that store, the Goat Fetching Soap. So it does look cohesive, and that's important. So I think in that sense, you have done a good job. My only suggestion for your cover, maybe adding your handle names for your Facebook, Pinterest, like connecting them. Because if you look at the most prominent shops, that's what they do. They have their handle name. They have all their stores connected to their to their banner, Etsy banner. That way people could follow you and you could grow your brand and elevate it. Um, that would be my only suggestion. I love the colors that you have picked. I love your logo. It goes with the name of it, right? So that's really nice. The only suggestion here, I know that you have your photo down here. I would just add your photo up here, only so it could so people could know who they're buying from. It's great that you have a logo, but you definitely want to add your photo here. I like your product line. I like that you have your location set. Your reviews are excellent, so I don't have to really go over that. Your about me section, I like it because it's emotional. People could connect with you. They could know exactly, um, people that have, like me, I used to have back at me as well when I was younger, a lot more than now. People could connect with you and understand why why you started this as a hobby, which now you're trying to make it into a dream, or it led to a dream and then a reality. So that's beautiful. I think that you did a really good job with that. My only suggestions here would be maybe add pictures of you creating the products, or of your workshop or something so people could get to know you in a different level. You've done a good job with putting all your links. I think that overall you've done a really, really good job. I think that if you work a little bit more in your SEO and you choose keywords that are not too competitive and not too broad, you can actually increase your sales a lot more because everything else is in its place. Some items here and there, you might have to tweak it so people understand what they're buying. If I look at this, I know this is soap, but then when I look at this one, it's a little confusing. It's not because the photo's bad, because the photo's not bad. It's just I'm looking at it in the sense of like everyday people. Like, um, if somebody in my family would see it, they probably wouldn't know what exactly they're buying. So it's just coming up with a creative way to take a picture of something that is kind of hard to tell what it is. And you can always hire a product photographer to give you ideas for some particular items that you might have that are a little bit harder to showcase. Other than that, I mean, I honestly want to say, Charlene, that you've done an excellent job. I think you've done a really, really good job with your store. It looks very pretty. You have your frequently questions. You have your return and exchanges. At least you did a little bit of that. You can always write a little bit more about your shipping and processing time. Other than that, I think overall it's pretty good. So this has to be one of my top stores. So yeah, good job. So that was my critique for this. Let me go ahead and look at your other items that you gave me. So your Instagram account, very good at adding your logo. I know that we follow each other, so I already love your products as they are. I'm very cohesive of always having the same photos. I think that you've done a really good job with it. I guess my only suggestion with your bio is make sure that you answer the three W's: who you are, why they should buy from you, and why they should follow you. If you look at mine, I have like who I am. I'm a digital marketing specialist. What do? I help Etsy sellers grow their shop. And then I have more information, like I have free Etsy tutorials. So something like that, like the three W's of who you are, why they should buy from you, and what you do is very important because that's the first thing that people read, and maybe even having them do a call to action. So my call to action is show me some love, follow. So you want to make sure you do something like that. Call to actions like, click below on the link to view my Etsy shop or whatever, but adding some type of call to action, telling them, hey, did you know you could click below to view my shop? A lot of people don't really understand that this is a hyperlink and they could actually click on it. Some people are new to Instagram, so don't always assume that people know how to use stuff, because a lot of people don't know or it's the first time. Another thing I would suggest is that when you write any type of listing you put, make sure that you write a long caption. Make sure you separate the tags from your caption. So this is what I personally do on mine. So I write the caption and then I put dot and then I put the tags in the bottom. And this is just a good way to clear this from this. You don't want all your tags on top of your caption. It makes it look cloggy, and it just makes it look cleaner when you do it this way versus when you do it the way that you have it right now. So just put your caption. Always tell them what to do. Drop your comment below or do you agree? The reason why you want to do that is because you want to tell them to engage. The more engagement you get on that post, the more likes you get, the more traffic you get, the more exposure you get, and then you will be featured on the top 9 spots of Etsy for that particular keyword that you picked. So you want to make sure that you always tell the person to like, to engage. That way you get more likes, and that's how you increase your likes, your comments, and engagement. So, but other than that, you've done a really good job. So you should be proud of yourself. The same thing with your Facebook page. You have the autoresponder, which is great. You have your logo, you have your banner, which matches your store. A lot of people forget that they have different banners on every social media outlet, and then it doesn't look like it's coming from the same shop. It confuses people. So you want to make sure you always have the same banner, and you're doing a really good job with that. Now, here, my suggestion would be anytime you put a photo, always put a caption, always tell them what to do. If I wanted to buy this, I wouldn't know where to go. Now, I know that you have the Etsy link here in your About Me section, but a lot of people don't know how to use this section here. And also, a lot of people don't even know that that's there. So, therefore, don't assume that people will click there. Make sure that you put the link like you did here. So, make sure that you say a little bit about this product and then say click here to shop, or click here to learn more about product, or click here to view my Etsy shop. Do that on every single listing that you have. Also, I don't like mixing my my Instagram post with my Facebook post. So you have that connected right now. I'm assuming. I don't like it because with Facebook, all these hashtags don't do nothing. As you can see, you don't even have a like. So with Facebook, you should use maybe 2 hashtags. With Instagram, you could do 30. With the new algorithm, Instagram wants you to use less than 30. They want you to use anywhere from 6 to 7. I still use all of mines. However, what I would do is on Facebook, don't use as many because they really don't do anything for you. Making sure that you have it shortened down like this is great, and having maybe 1 or 2, and make sure that you say introducing our new facial wash line, Dark Willow. This is a great product for blah 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 blah. Make sure you click here, and they have like a little arrow pointing to that. Maybe like you could do a emoji, having a arrow pointing to that and saying click here to learn more about this product. So making sure that you do stuff like that. And let's go ahead and Pinterest. So you get about 734 monthly views. You could increase that. I have a video on how I increased my Pinterest traffic from about like 13 Pinterest per month to like 1900. Now I'm getting over 2400 in one of my accounts. I actually have a video on that, on how to set up your Pinterest account autopilot without you having to do any work, and it starts pinning for you. It's a software that I currently use. I highly recommend watching that video because I think from my Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, I would say Pinterest has been the best one to drive more traffic and organic traffic without me paying anything. So I will work on doing that and watching my 2 videos on Pinterest, so you can see exactly what I did, which is kind of similar what you're doing, but I would definitely work on increasing it because it's worth it, to be honest with you. But other than that, I think that you've done a really excellent job. I just think that you need those little tweaks here and there. Mostly is most of it is your SEO. Your SEO, maybe your listing description, shorten it down a little bit and separating it into sections so people could on this go to the bullet point that they want to go to. But other than that, you've done a really really good job. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. If I didn't mention something that you saw that you think she should change, or any suggestions, I'm trying to create a sense of community where we all come together and help each other out. I believe there's enough room for everyone to be successful on Etsy. So if you have any tips or suggestions, or would like to visit her store to buy something from her, I will leave the link below. Make sure you leave a comment below of if you agree with the video, if you like the video, any takeaways that you got from the video. And thank you guys for watching. Have a great night.